Hi everyone, so this is a quick video today where I can show you my favourite base and glowy makeup. These are products that I have been able to rely on in all conditions, whether it's warm or cold, whether my skin's playing up or not. These are my go-tos, my favourites at the moment that work well on my skin when I'm looking for a glowy finish. And I can quickly tell you I will be using a Valentino primer, a Dior foundation, a WESTMAN Atelier contour stick, Guerlain concealer, and Givenchy Prisme Libre setting powder. And before I start, if you're new here, hi, I'm Hannah, I'm 47 and I'm not a professional, just somebody who loves makeup and loves to share that passion here with you on my channel. If you think you'd enjoy watching tutorials and tips from me, I would love it if you could like and subscribe below. That really does help, and any comments you make below can really help me to get my videos to be seen on YouTube. So even if you're just saying hello, honestly, it really does help, and thank you for being here. Now on to the video. So this is the Valentino V Lighter Primer. This sits very well underneath any foundation I've tried it with so far, even powder, because it gives you a nice glow and really nice base, hydration, everything you could ask for really. But it is very glowy. And on their website it says that it's infused with Aroma Light Complex, made of ultra-fine light reflecting pearls which reflect back light in multiple directions. It comes in two shades, Rosa and Amber. Rosa is for the lighter skin tones and Amber is for darker skin tones. So I have the Rosa. And as with all Valentino products, it comes with a gorgeous bottle. The packaging is always sensational. And here's how it looks. You can see the sort of pink glow. I use at least 2 pumps of this on my face, which I will now put on. The only thing I've got on my face right now is I did my skincare routine this morning. See the instant glow? And I've got my SPF on. My skin is quite red at the moment, even though part of that might be down to the fact that you might have seen my recent video where I tried out the Dyson Air Straight, which I'm still loving. I'm on day 3 or 4 since washing my hair and it's still working. I'm using it every morning to straighten, and it does make my face very warm. But I do have more redness generally in the winter, which is something I do want my base makeup to counteract. Now that's 2 pumps, and I'd say I probably need even a third because I just have very dry skin this morning. My face will get a bit red as I apply this, just because my skin just gets red whenever I rub any product into it like this. So it will calm down. That's not the product doing that. Anyway, can you see the shine this is giving? So if you're looking for a glowy base, this will give it. But for me, what's most important is the way that my makeup sits on top of this and shines through. I just always find that I get much more longevity out of my makeup when I wear this. It's also really nice to apply. It just feels lovely and hydrating, and it's got a very nice smell. If you don't like scented products, you probably won't like this because it does smell quite perfumey. I think it's really nice. So it's just a really nice sort of bougie primer, but I really do enjoy this one. I also think that it starts to even my skin tone, because I think now already the redness is becoming a bit more even around my face. Obviously it still needs sorting out, but anyway, I'm happy with this. So I can leave that to dry down for a minute or so, and then I start my foundation. And continuing with the glowy theme, here is the Dior Forever Skin Glow. Now this one has become one of the most reliable foundations I have in my entire collection. This one does not let me down when I'm having particularly bad days. When I say bad days, I don't get breakouts, but what I do get is problems here on my chin, basically my T-zone, so my nose and my chin, where I get redness and I do get dry skin, and I find that foundation breaks up on the nose and the chin quite often in the winter, especially if I'm trying out new products or if I'm going through a tretinoin phase where my skin is basically growing a new layer, and that does really affect the way that my foundation sits on my face. So this is a hero product for me, and I just love the way it looks so natural and glowy. I have here the shade 1N. This gives me a little bit of colour, so it's not an exact match for my skin tone, but I do like to have that little bit of colour, especially when I'm going for that glowy look. So I want to feel a little bit less pale, to be honest, so I do like this shade on me. This foundation gives a radiant finish, and it's got SPF 35 in it, and it's packed full of skincare ingredients as well, so it's just more hydration This really is a winter friendly skincare routine. But immediately, I mean, just immediately, the second I apply it, it's on, it's in, and it already looks smooth, which is something I just don't get with many foundations. I'm using my BK Beauty 101 foundation brush here, by the way, which is my absolute favourite foundation brush. Has not been beaten yet. I say yet because we're always looking for products to beat products, but this one hasn't been beaten. I'm going in for a second pump. My skin is very thirsty this morning, so I'm not sure I would need another pump to finish one half of my face normally, but my skin is just a little bit too dry today, I'd say. The weather here is just changing so much at the moment. We're going from hot to very cold all the time, and I think my skin is thirsty because of that, because the heating is on off on off. Anyway, I hope you can see just how smooth and easily this applies. So there we have one side of the face done and one side not. So you can see the redness here and how it's just cancelled that out, and it just applies so easily and feels so lovely. I know this looks darker, and I'm sure that people will be thinking it's too dark for me, but I just like to have this sort of tanned look when I'm looking for a pick-me-up. I don't need to use as much bronzer, and when I finish my whole face I think it works out quite nicely. So even though it does look a little bit alarming, I mean I could go down a shade, I know that, but 1N gives me this. So this is my summer shade. I don't actually have the lighter shade because this is why I use it, but I could try 0N if I wanted to get the colour match for my skin. So if you want a colour match and you have my particular shade of skin, I would go for 0N. If you want a boost of colour to give you a little bit more of a tanned look, then this is what 1N gives you. It has the typical Dior smell, which I personally really enjoy. If you don't like scented products, again, you're not going to enjoy this. There it is, all in no time. So easy to apply. I just use the patting in motion. Now a sponge would probably do this as well, but then it would absorb too much product, and it works so well like this with the brush. And to be fair, a lot of foundations for me right now in the winter, with my skin having these sort of dry flare-ups, don't like me using a brush, but this foundation doesn't seem to mind how I do it. I think hands would even work, not that I tend to use my hands for application. But there's the finished look. It's just, I think it's so skin-like, so, oh, it's just beautiful. It feels lovely, it feels lightweight, hydrating, and it's just that instant glow. Obviously my eyes are making me look terrible right now, but we will fix that soon. And these days, before I go to concealer, I put my contour on. And this is the contour stick from WESTMAN Atelier. It's got this very strong magnet top. Always very nice, these bottoms. And this is Biscuit. I think this is probably the most popular colour. Now I love this for a few reasons. There's lots of contours I enjoy. I love the Charlotte Tilbury wand, almost exactly the same to be honest, but at the moment this is the one I'm using. The reason I really love this is just so quick. So that's the shape I like to apply at the moment on my cheek, sort of V, and then down the side of the nose. It's so easy for doing that, just like that, and then across the forehead. Be quite generous because this will blend out so easily. A little bit under the chin, and then a small line under my lip here, and a little bit above. It's like doing a lip liner on the outside of your lips to make your lips feel a little bit more full. And now using my BK 101 again, just patting this in, and just see how quickly this blends in. Again, gives such a natural look. See, it's so easy. And just rub it in underneath here. Because my foundation is giving me quite a bit of colour, it's not showing up an awful lot, but it's giving me that sort of natural contour. And this is my base, so I will be applying bronzer afterwards, which It's something that I won't be doing in this video now because I'm just showing you my base. I think I will put a bit more up here though. Just a little bit more colour. This is the base that makes me want to feel a bit like I've just got back from holiday. Glowy, sun-kissed, not winter, dry, pale, which is basically how I am right now. So we're just cheating the system. There we go. Just got to do my nose, and I've been using this brush here from e.l.f. I don't know if it's actually got a name, but anyway, this is e.l.f. Nose Contour. I just haven't really seen a brush like this, so I got this to try, not really expecting an awful lot from it, and it's become something I use all the time now. It's really good for nose contour, so you can sweep the contour up. I take it up there underneath the eyebrow a little bit, and then just sweep down. It's just a lovely shape for this. And if you didn't already have the product on your face, it also works very well if you're just going like this and then applying. I do like to use a contour powder sometimes, and this brush is brilliant for that, if you just dip it into the powder. I've got all of these brushes linked below for you if you're interested in trying any of them, but yeah, this one from e.l.f. has been quite a surprise. And down underneath here, it can be easy sometimes when I put this on to forget that I've done it. And if you do look quite strange, just giving my lips a slightly more full appearance. And now for concealer. Now, the products I've used so far, I've tested out for summer and winter, so I can say that they work on my face all year. I can't say that about this, but I couldn't not put this into my favourite base makeup, because since I bought this only launched in January, but since I bought it, I have used nothing else. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I'm really a big fan of this. This concealer gives a light to medium coverage, and it does brighten underneath the eyes, and I also find it cancels out this darkness, which right now is very much emphasised by the fact that I've put my foundation on. When I first tested this concealer, I bought this one, which is 0.5N, and this has a bit of a peachy shade to it, and it's very good at correcting underneath the eyes, but I do like to have a lighter one for using in other areas of my face to brighten those areas, so I did go down a shade. So this one is 0N, but to be honest with you, I don't see an awful lot of difference, so I don't think it was worth doing that if you're thinking of trying that, but I'll show you now anyway. But I still love it, I'm not going to complain, and I still like it as much, the other shade, so I will use it and it will not get wasted, definitely not. So a little bit of this here. You can see the sort of yellow colour, which is perfect. It's got that peachiness, which is perfect for correcting the darkness, and it means that I don't need to use an under eye corrector, because I do find if I use an under eye corrector and a concealer, then the pilling and collecting in the corner of the eyes here gets a lot worse. So the less product the better, the older I get. And it's also very good at cancelling out the purples on my eyelids. So this is really something I've enjoyed, because I've been able to stop using correctors completely. It's like a serum, and it absorbs really nicely, and it just is very easy to apply. It lasts all day on me, and it just never settles into fine lines. It just is a beautiful concealer, my current favourite by a mile. And now this is 0N, and you'll see what I mean about how the colour doesn't really look very different. Like, can you see a difference? Because I can't really see a difference. Anyway, I'm going to just use it. It's not brightening the way I would like it to, because it's offering a very similar shade, which is a bit disappointing, but I'm not going to complain because I love this concealer. A little bit there underneath the contour line. Again, this should be a slightly brighter concealer to do this, because it's not going to make a huge difference. This is my N16 BK Beauty Nikki LaRose concealer brush, which I'm finding to be the best when I want a really nice application and I'm not rushing with a sponge. Take my time with this. So initially just patting it in, but not fully, just letting it absorb. So just patting it in a bit into the area I want it, and then allowing my skin to absorb. So I'll just leave that for now and do the tidy up after. And then start taking this across the eyelid, and you'll see how it's just cancelling out the redness, the purple. and this is sufficient for me as my eyeshadow base, as long as I powder. I could go in with a little bit more if I wanted to completely cancel out the purple there, but for me that's pretty much enough. But my eyelids will tolerate a bit more if I want to. The reason I'm not awfully bothered is I will be wearing purpley pink eyeshadows today, so I don't think I need to worry too much about cancelling out the purple. Yeah, this brush is really good. Just taking your time and patting it in. You can see that the concealer, it definitely gives a brightening effect. Can you see that? But if I had a slightly lighter shade it would be better, I think. Because it's not that I needed much more of a glow, because we are using very glowy products. And I'm just cleaning up here. I mean, it does still help define the contour line. Maybe a little bit lighter would have been better for this job. So now I'm going in with my Nikki LaRose N14. Again, this is BK Beauty, and these are my two favourite brushes for having a very good application of concealer. This brush is like a sponge in brush form. You can see I can just push it into the corner of my eye without any problems. It's not hurting me at all. It still feels very soft, and it just sort of gently pushes the product in the same way a sponge can do, but you can just be so much more accurate when you're using a brush, I think. So yeah, these two are my favourites right now for applying my concealer. And then I can go back over all the areas where I applied it just to make sure it's patted in, because giving that couple of minutes for the concealer to absorb does really help, I think. And now to set my under eyes and give a little bit of brightness and light, I'm using my Pat McGrath under eye setting powder, which I pretty much use all year round. And this sets it in, locks it in for the day, and also gives it a little bit of brightness, which helps right now when my concealer is quite a deep shade, like I said, for colour correcting. So it's giving me that light, brightened look that I was looking for. I can do exactly the same then on the T-zone. I'm using my Trigwell powder puffs here, which I always use. They're my favourite powder puffs. And here is the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder, which comes with these 4 different shades. I use the shade 3, which is Rose. And as you tap it into the lid, you get a little bit of each of the 4 different shades, which mix together. And using my bigger Trigwell powder puff, tap in and then rub it into the back of my hand so that I don't have a huge clump of it on the puff, and then go over this, because I do have a nice glowy look which will still come through, but it's too glowy if I don't powder it, which is obviously personal choice for you. You might want that glow all day. This locks it in for the day. It mutes down the colour as well, I find, when I use a slightly coloured powder, so I hope you can see the difference of how, one, it's taken the glow down, but it's also made the shades of the foundation certainly set back and look a lot more natural now, instead of having that deeper shade. The rose in this has this sort of neutralising effect for me, so I still have the sort of tanned, sun-kissed look I was looking for from the foundation, but the powder has just set it back and made it look so much more natural, I think. And now my face is ready for me to continue with the rest of my products. Or I could just be happy for the day, because this is a base that I could live with every day of the year. I really enjoy this base. I'll go on to do the rest of my makeup, and I'll pop in quickly at the end to show you the finished look so you can see how my makeup sits on top of this. So this is my current #1 base for my makeup. So if you have mature skin like me, I would definitely recommend this routine and these products, because these have been tried and tested by me a lot. The concealer may be for only a month, but I'd say almost every day for a month, and I'm still really pleased with it. And this is a very reliable routine for me. These products are fabulous. They always make me feel good, even when my skin is having a terrible day. So I thought I'd share this with you today. And here is my makeup fully finished on top of that glowy base. So I hope you can see now how that slightly over brown look that I had from the beginning, once I've added my bronzer, I don't use a very strong bronzer, and once I've added, well, you saw the Givenchy powder, how that calmed it down anyway. I just think the finished look is the look I'm looking for. So sometimes it's surprising with foundations how you put them on and you just think that's not the right match for me. But I think that when I'm looking, I have got a bit more colour obviously, but I've got the colour I want. So for me, it's given me the right amount of glow coming through. And yeah, this is my most reliable skin base. So I hope this has been useful to you. If you've got any questions about these products and I can help in any way, I will. So please message me below. And if you use any of these, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried them or will you pick them up at any point? But yeah, I really love these ones. So I hope this has helped and I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you did. That really helps me to keep this channel going. And I've got links for everything I've used today below, which if you use some of them, I have affiliate links with, so it does help me to support the cost of this channel for me. But you don't have to use it obviously, so please don't feel obligated. And I'll see you all again, hopefully, for my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.